Brothers and sisters, welcome back to Letters of Paul to the Philippines. Today's reflection for the third Sunday of Easter invites us into one of the most beautiful gospel stories, the road to Emmaus. Two disciples walk with Jesus, but they don't recognize him. And strangely, that might sound familiar, not just spiritually, but culturally. Think about Superman and Clark Kent. Yes, Superman and his secret identity. In many Superman stories, people fail to recognize that Clark Kent is actually Superman. He's right there, walking among them, talking to them, but hidden in plain sight. The glasses, the posture, the ordinary presence, all of it conceals the extraordinary. And in the film, Superman even dies and returns, a kind of resurrection. But here's the key: that resemblance is only partial, and understanding the difference will help us understand today's gospel more deeply. Because Jesus is not just hidden like Clark Kent, and his resurrection is not just a comeback, it is something far greater. In the first reading from the Acts of the Apostles, Peter boldly proclaims, God raised Jesus from the dead. It was impossible for death to hold him. This is victory over death itself, not temporary, not symbolic, not fictional, real, final, eternal. And in the Gospel from St. Luke, we see something fascinating. Jesus walks with two disciples, talks with them, explains the scriptures, but their eyes were prevented from recognizing him. Why? Because resurrection is not just about seeing with the eyes, it's about seeing with faith. Let's go back to Superman for a moment. When Superman returns in films, he comes back to the same kind of life, same world, same identity, just restored. But Jesus is different. When Jesus rises, he is transformed, glorified, beyond death forever. And unlike Superman, who hides behind a disguise, Jesus is not hiding because he's pretending. He is hidden because our hearts are not yet ready to see. That's a big difference. Clark Kent is Superman, pretending to be ordinary, but the risen Jesus appears ordinary so that he can lead us to deeper faith. Not recognition by sight, but recognition by encounter. And then comes the turning point. At the table, Jesus takes bread, blesses it, breaks it, and gives it to them. And suddenly, their eyes are opened. They recognize him, and then he vanishes. Why vanish? Because now they understand. They no longer need to see him physically. They have encountered him truly. And they say, were not our hearts burning within us while he spoke to us? This is where it becomes personal. How often do we walk through life like those disciples? Jesus is with us in our struggles, our doubts, our daily routine. But we don't recognize him. We expect something dramatic, obvious, unmistakable. But he comes quietly in Scripture, in the Eucharist, in conversations, in moments of grace. Like Clark Kent, he is hidden in plain sight. But unlike a disguise, this hiddenness invites us to deeper faith. And here's the mission. Once the disciples recognize him, they don't stay silent. They run back to Jerusalem. They share the good news. Because an encounter with the risen Christ always leads to witness. So today, ask yourself, Where is Jesus walking beside me that I have not yet recognized? What scriptures is he opening for me? What breaking of the bread moments am I overlooking? Superman stories can inspire us, but the resurrection of Jesus doesn't just inspire. It saves. It transforms. It calls us into a living relationship with the one who conquered death, not temporarily, but forever. May our hearts burn within us. May our eyes be opened, and may we recognize him, not just in extraordinary moments, but in the quiet journey of everyday life. God bless you, and see you in the next reflection.